Americans, what the fuck? I can explain. It isn't what it looks like. Frantically shoving chaos back inside of drawers and closets. I'm American and I'm saying the same thing. I live here, and I dunno. Never asked for this. All I wanted to do was read and not have zits. We just going through some things. What the fuck? All the fucks are being given right now. No idea, but I just want all this crazy shit to be over. What is the solution? The past few weeks have rekindled the masses' perceptions of extreme injustice towards black people. While no one has forgotten the issues we face, the wrongful and disgusting murder of George Floyd brought this discussion back into the limelight. As I sit here before my TV, a 22-year-old biracial graduate student, I am confronted with media members asking the same questioning over and over. That question being, what is the solution? What is the solution to the mass injustices committed by police towards black individuals in this country? While I am no expert in this matter, I do believe this question should be contemplated collectively and tackled swiftly with tact and foresight. The protests have shown the world, black people and their allies alike will no longer stand for police brutality. Period. So, what is the solution? I do not know the answer, but I can provide a stab at a few things which can be done. Universal standard training. Police officers currently attend police academy prior to becoming an officer. While many of these academies provide similar training, they vary in methodology and situational approach to force and confrontation management strategies. I believe we have and can demand a higher standard for police officer training, potentially one by which all officers must complete a universal standard training, consistent throughout all 50 states, to reduce situational discrepancies, in addition to their local and state-required training. If a lawyer goes through numerous years of training to understand the laws, why can't we demand a higher standard for officers of which who enforce these laws? And typically after only a few weeks of training comparatively. Licensing. Officers should be required to hold a license to be allowed to be police officer. Doctors, lawyers and many other professionals require licenses. Why can't police officers? A license for officers would do numerous things. First, a license would show that an officer is competent and has completed all trainings required and is aware of proper conduct in addition to one's associated accountability on duty. If an officer were found in breach of policy or the professional conduct during duty, they could risk their license being revoked altogether, thus preventing them from being an officer again. This results in individual accountability and prevents officers from being fired by one county or agency and hired shortly thereafter by another department. Once revoked, that police officer would not be allowed to be rehired. A police license would also make an officer think twice about their actions and ask themselves, is it worth it to kneel on a man's neck, choke a man to death, shoot this unarmed man, be racist, etc., in fear of losing my license, which would result in me losing the ability to feed my family? A license means officers have something to lose if they act inappropriately and ultimately could provide increased accountability and integrity on duty. Video cameras to end his word versus the officers. The year is 2020. No longer should we live in a time period where one must put their word up of a situation against an officer's. 9.999 times out of 10, the officer's word will always be taken. This is one reason why the recent videos of police brutality have become so engaging on a public level. Video evidence does not allow for an officer's conduct to be swept under the rug. Unfortunately, as it stands, if an incident isn't recorded, the officer's word is taken and the other party is quite frankly fucked, as there is almost no way the individual's word will be taken over the officer's. This leads to men and women being wrongfully charged with crimes such as resisting arrest, assault on an officer, etc. This must end, and it must end now. I believe all officers should be equipped with cameras and they must remain filming during any incident with an individual and an officer. This will ensure higher levels of transparency and a reduction in discrepancies between officers and individuals. I want to take it a step further as well. If an incident in question was not filmed, or the officer's camera was turned off briefly, then the event in question should not be prosecutable or acted upon in terms of believing the officer over the individual. This would entice officers to completely record an altercation or instance, as that would be the source of material for pending proceedings. This also prevents individuals from being victimized by police officers through being solely at the mercy of the officer's word versus theirs in regard to an incident or occurrence. Immediate federal investigation for police conduct. We must end this era of internal investigations of officers' conduct. Internal investigations by theory are unfair, less transparent, and liable for misconduct related to evidence or prosecutorial opinion. Should an incident occur between a police officer and an individual in which the potential for officer's wrongdoing could have occurred, a federal or established external organization with no ties to the officer's department should be involved in handling the investigation. This would prevent officers from receiving a slap on the wrist or few weeks of paid leave. Conclusion: many other ideas should be pondered, as ultimately at us the people, who should decide and agree upon our system of governance and protection. I urge you all to contemplate and discuss potential solutions to ending this system which so evidently oppresses black people and other minorities in this amazing country. Let the discussion continue, and let's find a solution together. Okay, you're gonna have to narrow it down for them. There are a lot of WTF-worthy stuff in America. I'm a peaceful, non-racist American who genuinely likes almost everyone I meet, hates conflict, and makes naked Pizza Hut ads. I would have been up front dancing naked at Woodstock. Once coronavirus is gone, let's bring those days back. Peace. We break things when we get upset. It's complicated. Shrugs land the free. Yo. On the bright side, really hope the SpaceX astronauts finish their mission and come back safely. Big step for mankind. Everything is horrible, man. Ugh. Tell me about it. One day you're playing Switch at home, the next day you're in your city protesting. You're telling me. A reverend guest on CNN said it perfectly. I'll paraphrase. But it's been long overdue, and all the 2020 events have pushed people to the absolute edge. Losing jobs, being stuck at home, dealing with classism, pandemics, governments failing at taking care of us. This presidential office in a long history of oppression and racism. That cop was an idiot before, but was an extra stupid idiot of the wrong day at the wrong time. Everything snapped. Canadians are always behind our friends to the south, but listen, buddy, we need to talk. ID came and I just work here. Chickens coming home to roost. Although we know for a fact that social media is literally full of bad actors manipulating public views for political purposes, I'll be glad to provide a source. So there is every reason to think the tensions are being inflamed by the same methods. American cops think that they are better than you. They are here to protect and serve the citizens, not arrest the citizens just to make a quota. I'm white and still afraid when a cop gets behind me while driving. We don't have a clue either. Bro, Palpatine has executed Order 66. I'm going to raise so much goddamn awareness. We had one lockdown. Yes. What about second lockdown? Not American but SHIT. I'm an American, and I'm not proud to be one. I hate that people act like this is new. That's what pisses me off. A country taken from natives by savages, who then call the natives savages, breeds hate and greed from the blood, sweat, and tears of black brownie CT. This isn't new. This is Plymouth Rock. This is Black Wall Street. This is MLK. This isn't new. This was going on when my dead grandmother was my age. These issues were being brought up when my mother was starting high school. These situations were going on when the TV was the newest invention. This isn't new, and people keep asking how we are going to fix it. Look around. There's no holding hands and singing Kumbaya. There is no meeting in the middle. Black men, like myself, are being murdered for minor violations and in many cases no reason at all. If police officers killed this many trans people, people would say, "God damn, why do police hate trans so much?" There is no peaceful way to debate murder. This place will burn to the grind before it builds that bridge. The crooked-ass cop caused an outrage. I'm tired and fed up with the racial injustice also. As an American, I have no fucking clue. Corrupt leadership, global pandemic, economic collapse. It was massive explosion of built-up rage that got set off by corrupt cops killing a man over $20. We need this timeline corrected. As an American, I agree. What the fuck? Gestures broadly at the past 400 years. Guys, I'm scared. We just thought 2020 wasn't bad enough already. If you're talking about the riots, that's just how things go here sometimes. It happens a lot if you look back in history. I think burning down buildings and causing unnecessary collateral damage is way too much. But this is how the public gets the government to do stuff. By pressuring them and protesting. This is definitely an extreme case though. Don't worry. I'm wondering the same thing. Are you new to America? This is what we do. This is what we've always done. I think all the Americas are asking the exact same question. I know I am. America, fuck yeah? Get in line. I've been asking that same question since 2016. It's now 2020 and I still haven't found an answer as to what in the actual fuck is happening to this country. Rampant racism, police brutality, riots, mass shootings, Trump being elected president. It's like America is devolving into a third world country. Echoes of the slave trade. Gonna last at least another century. Just the tip of the iceberg. The cowardly and silent racists selected their Obama backlash racist POTUS to say all the things they were too afraid to. Murderer cops kept murdering and weren't held accountable. Now the pendulum swings the other way. Division is all fun and political games until the masses have had enough. Reap it. Juan Pujol Garcia was a Spaniard who created his own counterintelligence operation for the Allies. During WW2, initially he approached British and American intelligence offering them his services. But both countries rebuffed him. Undeterred, Garcia created a fictional persona as a pro-fascist Spanish official and got himself recruited by the Nazis, who directed him to travel to Britain to recruit agents. Instead, Garcia created a network of fictitious agents and sub-agents using publicly available information like newspapers and travel brochures. It was at this point that he again contacted Allied intelligence and was finally recruited. Garcia continued his work throughout the war and received both a knighthood from the British and the Iron Cross for the same operation. The Nazis never realized that he was a double agent. No idea. And it is the country I live in. I swear someone is playing Jumanji. Anonymous is now involved and I'm pretty excited for what they're gonna do. But my god, what the fuck is going on FR? Not even us Americans know what's going on. I'm guessing assholes are using this as an excuse to break the SIP early. Wish I had the answer. I'm wondering the same thing. Where see coronavirus cases? Police brutality causing rioting. I thought the apocalypse joke was funny at first. It's not funny anymore. We're going to be the refugees real soon here. Will your country adopt us? It's just not our year. Yeah, they even have agent provocateurs. https://www. YouTube.com. Watch. V=JLX4VYBOG6A. We ask ourselves that question every day. We were in lockdown too long, man. Had a lot of pent-up frustration. Well, we don't know exactly. Truth is, Americans are in the same place as all of the other denizens of Earth. We have our shit together as much as anyone else. Which is like, not at all. I really wish that our law enforcement would learn a martial art so that they can properly handle arrest-resistant individuals. Toxic leadership from the top. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just live here. Dude, I don't even know. We embarrass me. To which crisis are you referring? Please? I am not an American. But every time I see news of these riots, aka mass gatherings, I think COVID-19. I think how many will get sick. How many's lives will be destroyed. How many will die because of this madness. Yes, police brutality is horrible. It needs to be stopped. Bias needs to be eliminated. Classism and racism need to be left in the past. Education on a national scale needs to be improved and cops need more training. But seriously, is now the time to protest? We are awaiting a second wave. We are worried about the lives of our loved ones and some people are just out there exchanging viruses like it's no big deal. I am honestly worried about the spike of cases in 2 weeks.